Hello and welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Antonia Mwokolo. The news headlines. NERC orders 8.1% reduction on electricity tariff. In business, CBN says currency in circulation hits 3.87 trillion naira mark. On the foreign scene, Chad presidential vote sets to end military rule. And in sports, Aruna, Edem and orders for African Cup Olympics qualifiers in Kigali. Welcome back. Now the news in details. Following a May 2024 supplementary order on tariff increase on Band A feeders issued by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Ikeja Electric has announced a reduction in its Band A tariff from 225 naira per kilowatt hour to 206.80 naira per kilowatt hour. Band A customers are those with a daily supply of a minimum of 20 hours. This represents an 8.1% reduction on the previous rates as directed by the industry regulator. The NERC order takes immediate effect from today. Ikeja Electricity's head of corporate communications, Kingsley Okotie, confirming the utility's compliance, said the directives given by the regulators will be followed, knowing it is in the best interest of all parties, assuring customers of continued improvement in service delivery as the tariff for bands B, C, D, and E remains unchanged. The previous announcement of the tariff increase on Band A on April 3, 2024, has been met with criticism by Nigerians. Last week, the House of Representatives ordered the NERC to reverse the increase. Meanwhile, the Middle Belt Youth Forum has berated the Senate President Akpabio over his recent comment against the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Akpabio, in an event, had accused Emefiele of leaving behind a foamy economy for Nigeria. While urging Nigerians to be patient with President Bola Tinubu's administration, Akpabio alleged that Emefiele left a very big hole in the national treasury. However, reacting in a statement by its Director of Strategy, Caleb Work, MBYF accused the Senate President of patronizing the executive arm of government. The group insisted that demonizing Emefiele will not cleanse Akpabio of his own alleged corruption baggage. They subsequently extolled Emefiele, insisting that he defended the Naira very well while at the helm of affairs of the Apex Bank. Now, the Nigerian Correctional Service has said 100 inmates who escaped from the Suleja Medium Security Custodial Center in Niger State have not been captured. Recall that 119 inmates escaped on Wednesday night, April 24th, after a relentless downpour wreaked havoc on the Suleja Custodial Center. The downpour caused severe damage to the custodial center's infrastructure, including a breach in the perimeter fence, allowing inmates to flee. However, 10 fleeing inmates were rearrested on the morning of Thursday, April 25th, and in the evening, another 3 were recaptured. On April 29, 3 more fleeing inmates were rearrested, making 19 arrested out of the 119 escapees. The spokesperson for the NCO's Abubakar Umar said a total of 19 fleeing inmates have been recaptured so far. Umar stated that the move to arrest the remaining fleeing inmates is on, saying that the service will give further updates on the development later. However, the spokesperson remained quiet on why the service had yet to publish the images and other information on the remaining 100 inmates. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. To stay with us.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. In business, the monetary value of Nigeria's circulating currency surged to 3.87 trillion naira at the end of March. The recent money and credit statistics released by the Central Bank of Nigeria revealed that the currency in circulation amounted to 3.87 trillion naira, marking an increase from 3.69 trillion naira in February and 3.65 trillion naira in January. Despite this, the amount of currency circulating outside of banks has steadily increased during the initial quarter, escalating from 3.28 trillion naira in January to 3.41 trillion naira and 3.61 trillion naira in February and March, respectively. The data indicates that over 90% of the currency in circulation is held outside of the banking system, suggesting that Nigerians are retaining more cash. During the March meeting, a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the CBN, Mohammed Abdullahi, stated in his personal statement that the Apex Bank had recognized the high amount of currency held outside banks as one of the factors driving the country's inflation. Now, the Adamawa state government has closed down public and private schools following the outbreak of measles in the state. The closure notice was contained in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Human Capital Development, Aisha Umar Onyola, on Monday. Mrs. Umar said the closure was to mitigate the spread of the disease and to enable the state's primary healthcare development agency to vaccinate the vulnerable age group. The ministry therefore announced Monday, May 13, 2024, as new resumption date for the school. At least 42 children have been confirmed dead following the outbreak of the disease in the State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Mr. Felix Tangwami, said the cases were recorded in vaccine non-compliant communities of the state. Tangwami noted that 23 people died in Mubi North Local Government Area and 19 died of the disease in Gombe Local Government Area of the state. The Lagos state government has commenced the removal of 100 shanties at the Adeniji-Adele underbridge area of the state. This was made known by the Lagos Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, on Monday. He said the Joint Task Force of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps and Lagos State Environment and Special Offences Team commenced the removal of shanties or makeshift structures built under Adeniji-Adele Bridge after the expiration of the vacation notice. In similar events, the Lagos state government on Wednesday discovered 86 partition rooms used as makeshift apartments under the Dolphin Estate Bridge in Ikoyi. Tokunbo on Sunday warned that the removal of the over 100 shanties under the bridge would commence on Monday following the expiration of the 48-hour removal notice served on all occupants of the shanties. The People's Redemption Party has cautioned the federal government against allowing the US or French government to relocate their military bases from the Sahel to Nigeria. Mohammed Ishaq, the PRP National Publicity Secretary, said this in a statement on Monday in Abuja that the relocation of these foreign military bases to Nigeria carried a myriad of potential dangers that could adversely affect the security, sovereignty, and overall well-being of Nigeria and Nigerians. Ishaq said that allowing the military bases to be sited in Nigeria could inadvertently expose the country to new security threats, as foreign troops may not fully understand the complex and dynamic nature of the security landscape in Nigeria. This, he said, could lead to unintended consequences, adding that their presence might provoke resentment among local communities, increasing the risks of insurgency and other forms of violence. Ishaq urged the government to consider the economic impact of hosting foreign military bases and how the costs associated with accommodating these troops, maintaining infrastructure, and addressing potential security issues could strain limited resources. Up next are stories on the foreign scene after the break.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. On the foreign scene, Chad is set to become the first of Africa's current junta-led states to move to democratic rule with Monday's presidential vote. It will end a 3-year transition imposed after the sudden death of long-serving leader Idris Deby Itno while fighting rebels. But as his son and successor, General Mahamat Deby, is one of the favorites to win, there is some skepticism about whether this will bring about change. Prime Minister Success Masra is among his 9 challengers and is seen as his biggest rival. 10 other politicians who had been hoping to run, including 2 prominent figures, Nasser Ibrahim, Negai Kosame, and Rakis Ahmad Saleh, were excluded by the Constitutional Council because of irregularities. But some have argued that the decision to bar certain people were politically motivated. Nevertheless, Chad's election is a milestone for countries in West and Central Africa that have fallen under military rule since a spate of coups began in 2020. In entertainment, Nigerian singer Emefiele has taken to X to put the Lagos state government on blast over the recent demolitions of houses in the Mende area of Maryland. Following the reports that the residents were given only 2 hours to vacate their homes for demolition, the entertainer took to her X profile on Monday to call the Lagos state leadership out. Alade expressed her displeasure and called on the government to do better when it comes to providing notice before embarking on demolitions. It is worthy of note that the ministry's commissioner, Tokunbo Wahab, has debunked the claims that the residents were only given 2 hours notice, stressing that they were duly warned in advance. And in sports, the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation on Sunday named Quadri Aruna, Ofeong Edem, Olajide Omotayo and Fatima Bello as the country's flag bearers at the 2024 ITTF African Cup and Olympics qualification tournament taking place in Kigali, Rwanda, from May 12 to 18th. According to the prospectus of the tournament, each country is expected to present 2 men and 2 women for the African Cup, while Egypt, as the defending champions in men and women, will present 3 players each. Aruna, a finalist at the 2022 edition held in Lagos, Nigeria, suffered an injury in the final to forfeit the match to Asa after coming back from the brink of defeat to level up. He led in the 7th game, but a thigh injury forced him to surrender the title to the Egyptian in front of the supporting Lagos fans. And just before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. NERC orders 8.1% reduction on electricity tariff. In business, CBN says currency in circulation hits 3.87 trillion naira mark. On the foreign scene, Chad presidential vote sets to end military rule. And in sports, Aruna, Edem and orders for African Cup Olympics qualifiers in Kigali. And that's the package on our news bulletin. Kindly follow us on all our social media platforms at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleketv. I am Antonia Nwokolo. Many thanks for watching.